Hello, this video is a bit of a rant. Actually, it's completely a rant. I had to deal with moving a domain from one host to another, and I have to deal with network solutions for this client of mine. I've had major problems with this company before, and yesterday was just, I was ready to basically explode big time here. So I'm going to go through the story here so you can see what I had to go through, and hopefully you'll never have to deal with this yourself. And certainly, if you are looking for a hosting company and network solutions comes to mind, immediately go around it and go with somebody else. Feel free to contact me with comments. I'll be happy to recommend some companies that do a good job, but these people are just beyond pathetic. So let me show you what's happening here. I'm going to make myself smaller. I'm going to move myself to a side here, and I got my shiny red pointer here. Let's go ahead and move on here. So they told me that I need to go to this login, and I have the credentials. So I logged in, and then the first thing that happens is all I'm trying to do is get the EPP code, they call it, which is a code that they supply to say, yes, you can move the domain from us to somebody else. And so I'm trying to move the domain from Network Solutions over to this other host. Okay, so the first thing that comes up on the screen, as you can see, is a screen that doesn't give me my EPP code, which is what I was hoping to get to. It gives me the client did not set up security questions, which is legitimate, and I'll just skip by it, so it's okay. This part didn't really bother me because security is important and they should be doing this. Then we get to this screen here, and I can't make it much larger because it's a long web page. So I'm just trying to make a point here, but I'll zoom in a minute to the section that's relevant. So as you can see by this red line here, this is how much you can really see on the monitor, just this part here. And I realize you can't read this, but let me just tell you, there's nothing here that talks anything about transferring any domains anywhere. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay, which is something people do relatively typically, actually, especially in IT field. Okay, so then when I couldn't find anything, and I started scrolling a little bit, I couldn't find anything. Finally, I went and did look at some help online, and found that what you need to do, apparently, you need to go down to the section that says details for this company, and the details section is right here. So you can see you can scroll 2 screenfuls down before you get to where you need to be. Okay. On top of that, as you can see, nothing really stands out. You can see they have all kinds of buttons here stand out, like here and here and here. Nothing in this area here that stands out at all. I put in this box to indicate what we need to be looking at, but obviously you can see it's so small that you can't really read it. So I'm going to zoom in a minute. One thing I do want to point out, I put this arrow here to point out that over here it says transfer domains, and it tells you that you can click here to move the domain, transfer the domain from another company to Network Solutions, which is understandable. If people want to transfer, they can transfer to and they can transfer from. But you would think if you have a transfer to your company and people also want to be able to transfer from your company, you would think you have those two together, but no, they don't have such an option. It's only about transferring to them, okay? Which is, to me, a crazy way to do business, but that's how they set it up. We move on to this details area so you can actually see it. And I covered up with a little box here, the account number and the client's information. But as you can see, the options, you look over here, it says details 5-star comfort, which is the domain name here. Renew, enable domain expiration, protect, all kinds of different things you can do. But you finally get to the bottom where it says transfer lock, and it says it's off. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, initially it was on, so they turn it off for me after I don't know how much time I spent on the phone talking to different people. Finally, it's off. Now over here on the right side, apparently you're supposed to hit request authorization code. Notice that there is a turn on link right above it. Notice that they're all kind of made together, and if people don't really pay attention, they can just, as they go down, it says transfer lock. First thing you see is this, so you click on it. And of course, if you click on it, it turns the bloody thing back on again, which of course is not what people want to do. Why somebody would do this, to me, 2 reasons. Either it's done maliciously or because they're stupid. I mean, there's no other reason why somebody would do this. And when I say maliciously is with self-interest, what I mean by maliciously. It's a ridiculous way to design stuff and ridiculous way to do customer service to force people to look and this something like that. So we got turn on and request authorization code. One has nothing to do with the other. Okay. So if you carefully click on request authorization code, then obviously it'll take you to hopefully get the authorization code, right? We went through a couple of screens already here. We're still not getting our EPP code. And then, of course, they give you all kinds of offers about, subscribe to domain alerts, this and that. All I'm trying to do is get the bloody EPP code. Okay? That's all I want to do. I don't want any offers. I don't want anything. I just want that. And like I said, over here, they got transfer domains. It says transfer existing domain names into your social solutions account. Not from, but into. Okay? So let's say we click on this request authorization, and we should see the code, right? Yeah, think again. So we get this next screen, and the next screen screams here, domain names. Then the first thing it does, it says stop, okay? We have a major accident here. We did a horrible, horrible thing. It says stop. So it says, before you transfer your domain to another company, we would like to extend to you a special promotional offer to renew your domain. Now, if I'm trying to click on options to move the domain away, why would I want to stop and take you on your offer? Okay, so they send the client an invoice for $35 to register the domain. Okay, I told them he doesn't have to pay that much. The people I use charge less. Let's go with somebody else. So that's why we're doing all of this. Okay, so they're telling you basically, as you're trying to get the information to move the domain, they're telling you, hey, wait, we have a special promotional offer. Now you can get it for only $17.99. Now it still happens to be half price of what they were trying to charge, but it happens to be still more expensive than my other solution was. But the question I ask is, why? Why do you treat people like this, Network Solutions? If you're going to give people a deal, just give them the deal, okay? Like most other normal companies do. Why are you giving them a price of $35, and if they don't pay, and then they try to get out, then you tell them you can give it to them for $17.99? It sounds like something some Russian under-the-table deals would be doing, not normal American companies should be doing. This is totally ridiculous. And of course, you see the big renew button here. Okay, nice color, everything else. Where is my EPP code? So I look through this screen, and I look and I look and I look. Okay, so this offer, you guys can keep this offer. Can take it back. I'm trying not to use a harsher language here, even though that's exactly how I feel. And of course, you have the usual BS, timeshare salespeople, used car salespeople approach. Oops, jump a little too far. That says offer valid today only, which is total nonsense. Obviously, it's like I said. I mean, it's just a ridiculous way to do business. And of course, you can always call a toll-free number to speak with domain transfer support specialist. Anyway, you have to go through all of this just to get to this, continue transfer, which I was amazed they didn't make it this size font with a link like on the other screen was. But let's say we go ahead and say, okay, so we didn't get our EPP code. We should have gotten it. They gave us one more warning. Fine. Let's see the EPP code. You click on the next screen. Do you see the EPP code? No, you don't see the EPP code. What you see is, again, the call to action here is to call their domain support transfer specialist, which, of course, when I did talk to them prior to that, they tried to talk to me about, is there anything they can do to keep the business, blah, 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 blah. I mean, give me the offer normally, treat me normally, and I'll give you business. But if you're going to be like this, I don't want to give you any business. So they keep pushing the thing, screen after screen after screen. So we had the stop screen. Remember that? And we didn't get our EPP code. Now we're going to the warning screen. So warning screen says what? You have just requested an auth code to transfer your domain to another company. Seriously? I had no idea I did that. But apparently that's what I did. I mean, talk about ridiculous, unbelievable. And then it says, no, the authorization code is not required for transfer between Network Solutions accounts. For transfer out of Network Solutions, you must obtain authorization code and also separately disable domain protect. Okay? So they're giving me the good news that if I had everything inside Network Solutions, I wouldn't have to have authorization code to move the domain. First of all, I wouldn't need to move the domain if it was already there. But, separate topic. Again, bunch of baloney on the screen. So then they go with, by transferring your domain, you assume all responsibility and risk. Oh my God, everybody's going to die. I'm transferring the domain, so now I'm assuming all responsibility and risk for ensuring you maintain ownership of your domain name. So we had this, sugar daddy here who was taking care of my domain. Now they're saying I'm going to have to take all the responsibility and make sure that I maintain the ownership. How amazing of them to be so mindful of me. And it says your personal contact information details might be made public by transferring your domain. Boop-de-doo. Okay, then it says please click the box below to acknowledge your agreement with the above. Okay, obviously when you go through these screens, at least when I go through these screens, I'm looking for some decent design, which this site is designed nice visually. It's just horribly designed in terms of functionality, but visually it looks attractive. So they have a button that you can see, you can click on now, right here, easily you can see what the CTAs are, right? Calls to action. So guess what my call to action is here? It's cancel. You can see that's the most prominent one over here in this area here. They got the warning and they got the cancel. Well, I didn't want to cancel, so I see my trusty continue transfer button, and I put the arrow here to show it. They didn't have the arrow. So you can, if you read all the way to the bottom, you can actually find it. So I click on the continue transfer. Guess what I get next? Do I get the EPP code? No. I get this screen. And of course, when I get this screen, I'm looking down at the bottom saying, what the heck is going on? Why didn't it go to the next step? And of course, I'm still seeing this, and then I start reading it and see that, clicking it multiple times to see maybe something was slow or whatever. All of a sudden I'm saying, okay, it's not going anywhere. So I'm looking and reading. It says, please click. Oh, I can't even speak. I'm so mad at these people. Please click below to acknowledge your agreement with the above. Okay. So you have to click it. So I click here, right? Click on this button, and still nothing happens. Why is nothing happening when I click on this button? And then when you look up, then you can see why nothing is happening, because they put up a stupid modal pop-up window, and you have to click on OK in that window. You remember, this is my arrow. That's not their arrow. Basically, when you look at it normally and you look at the bottom, you don't even see the top. Okay? And so I didn't even see it when I clicked on the checkbox. Once I figure out I need to click on the checkbox, I keep clicking on the checkbox, and it's not checking it. And I'm clicking like an idiot on this checkbox. Nothing is happening. Finally, I look up and I see, okay, there is a pop-up window there. So that's why it's not doing it. So I have to acknowledge it first. It says you must acknowledge your agreement. So you have to click on OK. And then after that, you click on this. Then finally it does check. And then you finally click on continue transfer. Are these people inept or what? Just with this one piece of functionality alone. Okay? So now we've gone through 4 or 5 screens, clicking multiple times, scrolling back and forth, everything just to get to the silly code. All I wanted to do was get the stupid EPP code. Okay, so we click on continue transfer again. Now it takes us to this screen. You think after all of this baloney, all of this nonsense, you think I finally would see my code? No, I see this screen. Again, call their domain transfer support, okay? And then it says, in order to serve you better, please answer the following questions. Seriously? Seriously, Network Solutions? Now I need to answer some more questions here? And so look at the questions. What company are you transferring domain to? What business is it of yours? I want to transfer the domain. It's my domain. I want to transfer. Why are you asking me what I'm transferring to? Unbelievable. Next thing, what is the primary reason you decided to transfer your domain? Because you people suck. Okay? If you're watching this, let me repeat it. You people suck at Network Solutions. That's why I'm transferring. Unfortunately, this wasn't an option that's available, so I had to suck something else. What's the primary reason you decided to transfer your domain? Okay, and then did you purchase domain name at auction? This was done by somebody else. Most likely, it wasn't purchased at auction. And most people, when they buy domains, they don't buy them at auction. So I don't even understand why they're even asking this question. But whatever. Do you still have other domains at Network Solutions? No, I don't have any. I won't have any ever. And if I have any clients that think about going this way, they're going to have to find other IT support because, life is short. Anyway, after all of these gyrations here, I finally clicked on save, and I got to the next screen, which you think would be the EPP code, right? Wrong. Now what I got is this screen that says your request for auth code, which is authorization code, has been received and your information will be validated to ensure your security of your account. What security of my account? I logged in with the proper credentials. I went through your bunch of your stupid screens, clicked on a bunch of your stupid buttons. I get to this point. I still don't have it? No. It says if your request is approved, you will receive auth code in email within 3 days. So I get their chat representative online because I figured that my language is just I couldn't hold myself if I actually talk to somebody at that point. And I call them up and I say, what does this mean? What is this if request is approved? How is it possible the request would not be approved? Domain belongs to me. I'm trying to move it, which is totally normal. I've done everything you asked me to do. What else possibly could be that would be the request to be denied? Well, if you did not unlock I said domain is unlocked. You guys know domain is unlocked because you went through the screens here. Everything is unlocked. Everything is ready to go. I just want my stupid EPP code. I don't know how else to make it more valid, more legitimate. I can say it in Russian. Дайте мне мой EPP code. Is this better? Do you understand that better? Anyway, the guy could not answer the question what it means by request is approved, by whom, how, none of that stuff. Okay? And so in the end, basically, I got that just wait for up to 3 days, and then you'll receive your EPP code. It might be sooner than that. So to me, just to go through this process, let me bring myself back here to this front and center, and I'll make myself bigger here. It's ridiculous what they put people through. I'm an IT guy. I know how to do this stuff, and I go through this kind of baloney. You can only imagine how people who don't do IT, just regular users, if I'm this frustrated, you can imagine how frustrated the users would normally get doing this kind of stuff. It's completely inept, ridiculous, beyond, I don't know. I don't have the words to describe how mad I was going through all this process. So the moral of the story is do not deal with these people. There is much, much better companies you can deal with that do a much, much better job. And, save your sanity, extend your life. Don't deal with network solutions. That would be my recommendation. If you have any questions or need any help with any of this kind of moving domains or doing any of this IT-related stuff, feel free to drop me a note. By that time, hopefully, I'll come down. Big shout out to my friend David Amerlin. He wanted to hear this. There you go, David. Till next time. So after all of these machinations and all of this time and all these phone calls and all of this work, I thought I finally had the EPP code, and I got this email. As you can see, they show the stuff that, for this domain, there is the famous authorization code I was looking for. Everything is hunky-dory. I go to the new host, enter the code, and it says it can't transfer the domain. So then I tried it a couple of times. I called their tech support. They said, you really need to talk to these people because there's really nothing we can do until they give us the proper code to be able to transfer it. So I went back to Network Solutions, called them again, got somebody on the phone, explained the situation. It's not happening. First, the woman didn't know what the deal was, so they call them specialists. I don't know, they're probably specializing in some other areas, which we won't mention. But after that, she finally came back and said, you need to email the original registrar, which is register.com. And so I called. Actually, I didn't call first. Let's slow down a little bit here. So then I went ahead and said, why do I need to email them? Why can't you just connect me with them, or can you talk to them, or why? And she goes, no, the only thing you can do is email support@register.com, and they'll take care of you. I said, the domain is with you guys. We went through all the stuff with getting it unlocked and everything else. You took care of all of that, or at least I took care through you. How is it that right now you can't take care of this last piece that supposedly I need to go talk to another company? She says, this is all I can help you with. You just take the email them. I said, well, I want to talk to somebody. So do you have a phone number for them? And as you can imagine, her answer was no. All I have is this email. So when I talked to my hosting people, the good company that I'm trying to transfer it to, and I asked, I told them the story and indicated that that's what they told me. Does it sound, kosher and stuff? And the lady said, yeah, it could be the case. You need to contact them. I said, do you by chance have their phone number? She said, sure. It's 1-800 whatever. So how is it that my hosting company, the new hosting company, is able to get me the phone number for these people, and yet these network solution people can't. They can only have email, supposedly they can provide. So, and of course I went to, register.com, and they had phone numbers on there anyway. So just crazy, totally crazy. Anyway, I called them up, and they were very nice people at register.com, and they told me that they needed to make some changes on their end because of the way the initial site was registered by whomever registered it, and so it should take probably a number of hours, maybe a day to propagate, and then we should be able to do what we need to do. So basically, we're coming to the end. I still don't have the right EPP code yet. They send me the EPP code, but the way it works is if you don't use it within 2 weeks, then the thing expires. You have to start the whole process from the beginning again, which is understandable. I mean, they're just trying to make it so it's not the easiest thing to do, so people don't keep doing it every day. But just ridiculous how Network Solutions handled this so far. And I'm only hoping once this propagation takes place and I can move it, I'll never have to deal with them again. Unbelievable. That's it. Over and out.